采访100位老外，看看他们对中国了解多少，对我的家乡湖南又了解多少。What's your name?
My name is Leslie Wilmot.
Where are you from?
I am from Auckland, New Zealand.
Do you mind if I ask, what do you do for a living?
Well, I am retired, but I used to be a journalist. I've worked for 40 years as a journalist in broadcasting and radio.
Do you know that China now offers 30-day visa-free entry to the citizens of 43 countries?
I did hear that on the news a few weeks ago, so that was quite exciting to hear.
Will you consider visiting China?
I would really like to visit China. I think it will be a very interesting destination.
Cool. What would you like to see or do in China?
Right, so, everyone goes to the Great Wall and the Forbidden City and the Terracotta Warriors. I'd like to do that. I'd like to ride some of their high-speed trains, and I'd like to go into the countryside because I've seen some wonderful photos on the internet of some extraordinary countryside. So, yeah, I'd quite like to do that.
Can you name a few cities in China?
Well, there's Beijing and the hidden city there. There's Shanghai, and I've heard of Hunan because one of my sons has business dealings there. I suppose Hong Kong is part of China now.
Okay. And as you mentioned that your son did some business with China and Hunan, are you happy to share a little bit more about that, or how much have you known about Hunan?
Well, I see he visits quite regularly because he is the New Zealand manager for BYD electric cars. So he visits Hunan 2 or 3 times a year, and I see the videos he posts when he's there, and it does look amazing, particularly the food. He likes to try the local food, so some of that is interesting. I'm not sure I'd try it all.
Okay, and Hunan is very famous for the spicy food.
Yes.
Are you a fan of spicy food?
I like mild spicy food, not the really strong hot stuff.
Do you know that the real-life Avatar mountains are actually in Hunan?
I didn't know that, but I have seen some wonderful photos of the countryside and wonderful mountains, and I'm not surprised that they make a good movie set.
Actually, the place is called Zhangjiajie, one of the most famous scenic spots in China. Are you considering to put China in your traveling bucket list?
I would really like to visit China. I'd have to do a bit of research. I'm not quite sure how easy it is, and I'm not quite sure how I would manage with not being able to speak Chinese once you get outside the major cities, so I'd have to look at that.
Are there anything you want to add or share your thoughts about China?
I think my impression is that China is getting easier to visit than it used to be, and I do know there are a few concerns probably about for visitors if you make a mistake, how the authorities might come down on you, especially with social media and things like that. So a bit of a hesitation about that point of view.
Okay. Do you have any concern about the culture difference or language barrier or?
The language barrier, yes. The culture difference, not so much, because I think as long as you're respectful, do your best to observe other people's important cultural. And I think most places people are understanding that you do have a different culture, and it's a good way to learn. I think it's always a good thing to learn about other cultures.